In first level class, we worked on the relax. You see Gracie doing a good relax here. And so you can take this and move this on to nail trimming. So after you've got the relax mastered, where you can see she's very, very relaxed, then start doing like a little leg massage and a foot massage, get them used to you touching their feet, and just keep them, you know, happy and comfortable. Start slow, get into the feet, catch them when they're tired, you know, review the whole relax notes in the video on the relax. But you can see she's very relaxed at me touching each one of her feet and each one of her nails. And make sure, you know, you work on all of them. Back foot too. And then when they're really comfortable with this, get your clippers out and make that noise, little clipper noise. These ones don't make any noise. These are scissor style. They're a very big clipper for large or giant breed dogs. They're scissor style. These particular ones don't have a guard, but there are ones that have guards, lights. There's all kinds of different ones on the market. So find what you're comfortable with. Make sure it's big enough that it cuts all the way through the nail quickly. You don't want to splinter or shatter the nail. That's gonna hurt. So these are big and sharp and they go right through the nail. For Chihuahuas, this is our Chihuahua size nail trimmer. Found this in the kitten or bird section, but our Chihuahuas are tiny. If you have a toy breed, these are great, or step up to the next size if you have a bigger dog. So we would first start with a relax, get her nice and relaxed, as you see she already is, and then start being able to touch the feet. Oh, good job, very good. And then each individual nail, kind of little foot massage. She's loving this, so that is going very easily. Being able to touch each foot. Oh, good job. Once they're very comfortable with that, start making the clipper noise. These are silent, they don't really make any noise, but some clippers do. And get them used to the clippers being by their feet while you massage. And then take it slow. Lots of praise, you can stop and give them a treat. You can tell she's not at all worried about it. So I can move to the next step. So the next step would be actually to cut a nail. So make sure you can see the nails. And even though Grace is a golden and she's very light colored, a few of her nails are dark. That one's kind of dark. And I'll get a close-up of her nails also. But she's got some light colored ones too. And I'll bring the phone over closer after I get this part done, so you can see actually what I'm looking at rather than from afar. But make sure you can see the nails. You kind of have to get the fur back. And if they start kind of getting a little jumpy, go back to your relax, good girl. Some dogs can be ticklish just like people, so make sure you kind of get them desensitized to you touching the foot first. And then I can easily see on her nails, and I'll bring the phone closer and show you what I'm seeing, where the blood supply is, and then where the part, like our nails, you got the blood supply, and then the part that you could trim, which is white. So theirs is kind of like that, but there's some dark nails like this very first one that you can't really see that on. So there you want to start with the lighter colored nails. Or if you have a dog that has all black nails, then I like to look at the underside. And again, I'll bring the camera over and show you what I'm looking at. So have treats handy. I got a little bag of cookies right here. Oh, she heard that. Because in the beginning you want to just trim one nail, make a big deal out of it, give them a treat. So we'll do that. Oh, good girl, she heard cookies. Relax. Oh, good girl. So we're going to do this nail. And if you're in doubt, just take a little bit off. It's better to do a little bit than to go too much and hit the quick. See? Big nails need a big trimmer. So you saw that? She did great. Yay! And give her a cookie. She's like, oh, that was only one nail trim and I got a cookie? Usually I do them all and she gets a cookie. Good girl, that was so good. And make a big deal out of it. The next time, maybe you do 2 nails, then she gets a cookie. And keep it positive. Also, little tip, trim nails when they're tired. Go for a nice long walk, go play ball after they've played with their friends. Whatever is all the energy out, dog is about ready to fall asleep, then trim nails. It'll go so much easier. So I'm gonna show you with Halo, then I'm gonna get the camera closer and show you the nails closer as well. Now things are a little different when you're tiny. So I typically don't have him on the floor because he's pretty tiny. Usually I'll sit on the couch or in a chair, but on the floor works good too. And I work on the relax. Remember at first? We did relax in our arms, made sure he was comfortable with that. And then we worked to where we can do relax in my lap. Oh, good boy. And you can see he's comfortable with this too. I'm gonna lower a leg there so you can see him a little better. Tiny dog's hard to see. So he has little tiny feet, little tiny nails. So we're working on relax, and then we're working on being able to touch his feet. And then we're just gonna take these tiny little clippers, and I trimmed his nails yesterday, which I should have done a video of. So there's not much trim, but we're just gonna take a sliver. And so I just take a little sliver, and then he did so good. He gets a cookie, and I always set him up to get a cookie, just so they don't choke. I guess laying down and eating treats probably isn't a very good thing. Oh, good boy. So if he did good with that, then we're gonna try 2. So back in our relax. Remember, we've already worked on relaxes. We've already worked on touching the legs and the feet. Feel that back feet. And then just get them nice and relaxed. And we're gonna do 2 nails. Boop. Good job. Lots of praise. And he gets a cookie. Whoa, that's a kind of big cookie. That's right, you can have it. That was so good. Good boy. Okay, so this is from my angle, so you can see she's in a relax. And then see the nail. I don't know if I can really get it very good. There we go. Oh, make it focus. There we go. See how there's kind of a little hollowness? Right. Get the hair out of the way. Oops. Right there. That's a little bit of a hollowness in the nail. There, see if we can focus. There we go. So you can kind of see the fleshy part right there, and then right there, and then above that it looks kind of hollow. See if I can see a side view. Get her little. Okay, so this is kind of a side view, and you can kind of see, good girl Grace, that there looks like there's a darkness that comes and then the very tip is light. That would be like our fingers. So from the side, see how our finger looks like flesh, and then the very tippy part is white, and that's the part you would trim. Very similar. See if I can find a better nail. She's got a lot of dark nails, but let's go back to that one. Okay. So it's okay, Gracie, good girl. She's got so much fur. There we go. So you can see to right about there, there we go. It looks dark, and it looks like it's got something going on. You kind of almost can see, good girl. There we go, that's a good picture right there. You can see the pink come out to right there, and then back from my thumbnail to the end of the nail looks kind of hollow or white or less, you know, like there's no blood in there. That's the part you can trim. See that? That's a good picture there. And then if we were to look at the underside, see how it looks more hollow right here? It's okay, Gracie. She says that tickles. That's the part I would trim. Also, I always kind of judge straight off the pad. So you can kind of see, if we were going straight off the pad, you could trim right here. I don't know if I can hold the camera. You're a good boy. My little chihuahua wants a nail trim. You can kind of see, I would trim this part right here. I don't know if I can hold the camera and do that at the same time. Probably not. Let me see, Grace. Let's see if we can do this part. So I got help now, so you can see the very end, and I know it's hard on the camera, is the part I'm going to trim. And so I just get the part that I can see. It's okay, Gracie. I know. I know that I'm trimming this part, and I can see the underside. It's kind of hollow right there, and the tip is the part that's more hollow. So I'm just going to get the clippers right there and go trim. And if in doubt, just take a little bit. And you can see how it looks like it got to a more fleshy looking part there. Good girl. So then we're going to move to the next nail, which is dark colored. But from the side, you can see, actually that was a really good picture. Good girl, Grace. that to there, it looks fleshy, and that part I can trim. Good girl. So I get the hair away. And then from the underside, you can see that that looks like it's, I know, it tickles. That looks like it's more hollow. Gracie, relax. Good girl. We're gonna trim right there. And her nails grow at different rate. That's the one I trimmed earlier when we were doing the long shot. And then I'm gonna have to move her foot up to get right here. And you can see again kind of a hollow part. And eventually you just get really comfortable with where you're trimming nails and it goes much faster. And I'll just go through this foot so you can see once you get used to it that you go pretty quick. And there wasn't much there. Her nails, like I said, grow at different rates. See how that one is not so long? Just a little bit. Boop. And then this one, you can see from the side, goes to there with the kind of fleshy looking stuff. And this under part is hollow, and we're gonna go trim. And like I said, if in doubt, just take a little bit. You can always take more. See that one? You can see blood supply to here. Underneath looks a little more hollow. Let's take a little bit, and if I feel like, oh, I can probably take a little more, and take a little more. Much to trim here, so we're just gonna take a little bit. There we go. This one's a little longer. Every nail's different. So you can see kind of the fleshy part to about there, and then from there on is where I could trim. And from the underside, you can see it looks a little more hollow at the end, and it kind of curls a little bit too. And again, coming parallel from the pad, I could cut just that tip part. So we're gonna go relax, Gracie. Good girl. And get just a little bit there. Good. And then you can see it's all that fleshy parts, or we went right to the fleshy part. And then this nail's black, or, well, not really. Just got some that are dark. So you can see the flesh comes to there, the part that you would cut and it would bleed, and then the part you can cut is right here. And again, parallel from the pad, you would kind of hit right about there. And so then we can go trim. Very good. Same thing with this nail. Let's do relax, Gracie. Good girl. So right, this one's nice and easy to see. You can really see that quick. Come right to the very end. That's a great nail. And so just the tiny very end right there is what I would trim. So not much on that one. Their back nails tend not to grow so much because they're probably using their back feet to push off when they run. And if you walk them on pavement, they tend to file their back feet more. That's a great one too. You can see the blood supply comes to there. So I can trim this part. Boop. Very good. And then this one's longer. Like I said, for whatever reason, they're all kind of different. But you can see the fleshy part to there, and then the part I would trim. Relax, Grace. Good girl. Here, let's do relax. Good girl. Gotta get back to that foot. Right there. Easy, Gracie, relax. Good girl. Wasn't much on that one. And then this one, I feel like she's filed that down all by herself, so I'm not gonna even trim that one. All right, so that was nail trims. It's really easy to see from the underside. It's the side view that gives you kind of where the quick goes to. But the underside you can see. And back to her darkest nail, which is, I think this one. You can see here how it's a pretty dark nail, but you can still see the quick goes to right about there. So I could take a little more on that one, which we will do. Good girl, Grace. Even that one up a little bit. They do have doggy file, where it just files the nails, a pedicure thing. I do have one of those, and they work great if the nails are short and you're just filing. Good job, Grace. Good job.